Alright guys, we made it the last part of this crazy LaserDisc pickups, and it's all Japanese music discs, music videos, concerts, all kinds of stuff. I made a bandit here, the incredible stuff. First one up here, I was actually able to watch a little bit of some of these. I picked out some that I wasn't quite sure what they were or had a particular interest in. Watched about 2 hours worth of a couple different ones here, bits and pieces. Watched the first 20 minutes or so of this one, Masato Watanabe's Born 4, which is the combination of two different concerts. Only 3 songs from one, the majority is at the other. Most of it is from the Tokyo Dome concert November 30th, 1989. And there are a couple songs, which I like this one a little bit better, at the Seibu Stadium on July 26th, 1989. And those are really cool because apparently during that concert it was pouring rain. I mean, like torrential downpour. And it was just crazy and cool to see her go all out in the pouring rain and the lights going crazy and bouncing off the rain and the crowd going nuts. And that was really cool. I mean, the stuff I watched most of that. I only watched one song from the Tokyo Dome part of the concert, but this was so cool. This was absolutely fantastic. I loved that. The next one I watched because I didn't know what the heck it was. Looking at it from here, I'm like, alright, I don't know what that's going to be. And the other thing too is I'm not super familiar with a lot of Japanese rock from the 80s and early 90s. That was more of an era where I'm really into a lot of Japanese pop and even jazz. I like a lot of the Japanese jazz is really good. But rock was more later, more recent stuff I'm more familiar with, so this is kind of cool. So I didn't recognize the band names or anything at first, but I watched a little bit of this, and this is awesome. There's some cool, badass rock in here. And it's not all just heavy metal, it's a good kind of rock mix. Bands like whether X, Unicorn, Psy S, Sekima, 2, Echoes, Rebecca, Sugar Boy, Roses and Nonfiction, Eldorado, Tug of Street, Monotone Boy. So I've only watched again a little bit of this so far. I want to watch the whole thing in full. This is really cool. It's Rocking Days Live Special Volume 3. So I definitely want to look out for Volumes 1 and 2 here. This is pretty cool, and I'm more interested now in some Japanese rock from that time period. And overall, just music on LaserDisc has been the biggest surprise for me. I've always wanted to get into LaserDisc growing up, and it was always kind of coveting the movie side of things, and even TV shows and box sets and that type of thing. And I never really thought too much about the music side of LaserDisc. It wasn't that it didn't appeal to me, just something that never really came to mind until about a year ago when I started really researching. I started finally actually getting some LaserDiscs, and I started researching on the LaserDisc database and stuff like that, and looking at what I actually wanted on the format, making wish lists and things like that. I started noticing how much music is on LaserDisc, and great stuff. Thousands of live concerts, not just Japanese stuff in Hong Kong, and tons of stuff from all over the world. Crazy sets of music videos, and I'm a huge 80s pop culture whore. Absolutely. There's so much. My list of 80s music discs for LaserDisc is crazy, whether it be live concerts or music videos. Man, when I get George Michael's Faith, when I get that on LaserDisc, I'm not leaving the house for a full day just with that. I mean, just so many different things that I do understand now. I comprehend the handful of collectors out there for LaserDisc that are actually just music people. A lot of them are people that also are big vinyl collectors and things like that, but I do understand now. I totally get it, because I've talked to a couple of people who pretty much don't really get very many movies for LaserDisc. It's more something for their music rooms where they just watch. They have music videos and especially live concerts, and I totally understand that now because they look and sound amazing. And what's great is, depending on what you're into, I mean, for a certain time period, it doesn't matter what you're into, is everything, but depending on what kind of eras I think you're into, what style and types of music, the selection is insane. I mean, it's just astronomical, the number of discs out there that are so enticing. There's so much, and with this too, I'm even discovering more and more stuff to look into, and just endless amounts of things. And Japan of course got just an overload of stuff in that category, but music videos, live concerts, it's crazy. So I'm thinking when my collection gets a little bit bigger and things start building up, I think eventually when we move, I might even have a player that's more dedicated to just kind of music in a way, outside of the theater room and things like that. I think that might actually end up being something that I'll want, because it's so cool what you can get. And it just kept going here with all kinds of stuff. Another discovery now that Some band Lindbergh that I've heard of before, but maybe heard 2 songs randomly over the years. Didn't really know much about them. They were active more, I think, in the 90s. I think like 88, 89 to like the early 2000s maybe. But this is Lindbergh Flight 004, another live concert here. And I watched the first maybe 10-15 minutes of this so far. It's from 1993. So amazing. I definitely need more of this band in my life. I think this was just cool. I really liked it, and I really like the sound. It doesn't have... It's rock without a super hard edge, and with a female lead singer, and that to me, from what I've heard, again, I'm not huge on Japanese rock from the time period, but that seems somewhat unusual, especially for something that seems to be geared towards probably more like middle school, high school, very like popularity-wise at the time. This is kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. It's really, really cool. So I love this disc, what I watched so far. It's another one that I can't wait to get into. This is really interesting here too. Princess video singles 1987 to 1992. So this is cool, and that's one thing that's awesome is music videos, because music videos are harder to get good quality collections of than you'd really think. Sometimes they're not even, you know, put out there. Other times it's like with a limited edition of a CD release. A lot of times like a compilation will have like a CD and DVD version where like some music videos will be on. But and a lot of artists, especially like 80s that I'm really super into, and international stuff, it can be a little bit harder to get a hold of. But on LaserDisc, not at all. Like, it's so cool, and there's so much available, and somewhat easy to find, and if you look in the right places, super cheap to get like cool collections, and that's just another cool example. And then all the rest of these here, if I haven't missed anything, yeah, all the rest of these here, all that's left is the same artist. This guy had, or whoever had this, I don't know, I'm just assuming guy, I have no idea, had a bit of an obsession apparently with this individual. So first up here we have Chisato Moritaka 1996, Do the Best at Yokohama Arena. And that is the rest of them here. It is a huge collection of her live concerts and music videos. And this is one live concert here. I mean, I just have an instantaneous, like, mega collection. And this is someone, again, who I've been aware of her music and I've listened to before, but I've never been super into, like, don't have any albums, art type of thing. But now that I'm actually watching a little bit more, this was the only thing I so far watched in full, and this was awesome. I absolutely loved this. So Lucky 7 live, and I have to say that for a lot of these, the bits and pieces that I've been looking at, the picture and sound quality again is amazing. I really love the sound on LaserDisc. I think as far as the music stuff, even more than the visuals here, and the collectability. It's just beautiful looking at all of these different collections here. There's so much here, and it's absolutely astounding. Let's see, this one is Live Get Smile. I like the cover of this one for some reason. But yeah, there's so many here. Just hours and hours worth, just great stuff. And everything's in such good condition. I mean, very, very well taken care of, everything in here. Just a lot of great stuff here. I like this one. This, for some reason, just the back doesn't, but for some reason the cover of this one for a second reminded me of Anita Moy, if you know her from Hong Kong. Just like, for some reason, just the visuals and what she's wearing and stuff for a second, at quick glance reminded me of that. And it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I like that one. Let's see if I can get this one out here. Third live video. This is cool. The colors are so vibrant on some of these covers and things here. Like, it's so cool to collect music in this form. I'm loving it. Like, I'm really starting to love collecting music. I love this cover, Rock Album. That is a cool look right there. Oh, look on the back. But I'm starting to really like the idea of collecting music almost as much as movies and TV shows and stuff, because there's so much, and so much that I love. Like, again, like I like a variety of stuff. I like classical music, and there's an endless supply of classical music and ballets and opera and things on LaserDisc. It's crazy. I like jazz. I like a little bit of everything, but my true love is definitely like anything 80s pop or rock. It doesn't matter any subgenre. Like, within that realm, like 90s stuff I really like there too, and that extends to Asia as a whole, really. Hong Kong from that time period, more 80s, and Japan 80s and 90s. Like, that's what I really love, and it's great because that's what there is like the most of on LaserDisc, pretty much. All the stuff that I adore. But yeah, I just love even the visuals. Like they're so collectible compared to anything else really. Like what would you rather have? Just a collection of CDs or cassettes, or I mean vinyl's pretty cool, but like that, or would you want to have like on a hefty beautiful LaserDisc with like the actual like the visuals to go along with the sound and just the amazing quality. It's just they're so cool and collectible and nice. There we got another one here. What's this one? 1997 Peachberry Show. This is cool. I really want to get into this one. I haven't watched it yet just because there's so much, but this is one of hers that was actually on my wish list. There were just a couple that I like knew I'd seen bits and pieces of, or recognized songs that I knew I really wanted. So I'm actually going to put this one to the side there because I want to look at that one. Got another one here. And out of this whole huge random lot, basically, if you've been watching these, I think it's on my face. Look at that. If you've been watching these videos and you've been seeing what's in this crazy box and how, you know, how it was sort of a mystery box, really, you don't really know what I was getting out of the whole thing. Not only did I get 29 discs when I was expecting 16, I only got one double in the whole thing, and it's something I don't really mind having double of. It's actually kind of cool. But this one, 17, this is a collection of a handful of music videos, and that's just cool. I don't mind having an extra copy of that. This one has the OB strip here. So if you're going to have double something, that's pretty cool. I don't mind having that. But yeah, so that is finally it. The box is now finally empty, and I'm going to have to organize and move some things around here. I just was shifting my collection to put more of the... I kind of put all the Japanese and Hong Kong stuff together in sort of like a foreign language section for now, because it's not super organized yet, you know, until we move and I get like the permanent shelving. Right now it's just kind of like by certain categories, and I try to keep stuff I watch the most out in certain types of things. But yeah, this is crazy. It's going to keep me busy for weeks and weeks, just watching and listening to live concerts and music videos and so much stuff. And it's cool now I just have, out of nowhere, a massive collection of somebody, and it's just like, that's such a cool thing to have, to be like, you know, I kind of like this person, you know, I kind of like her music, and now it's like, well, I have a collection. Now I'm a collector of her music, and yeah, I better love it. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Everything's in great shape. So much stuff here. And again, I'm really getting into music collecting on LaserDiscs. So let me know if you're a LaserDisc collector, and if what your experience is with music. Do you start to collect music at all, or are you just strictly sort of like a movie, TV kind of person? Is music really your main thing? And if you do collect LaserDisc music, what kind of stuff do you collect? What do you look for? I would like to hear about some of the stuff you have in your collections, you know, aside from Yanni Live at the Acropolis, like anything that you think is really fascinating and interesting as far as music discs. I'd love to know more about what's out there and what people think, and what your suggestions are, what I should look out for music stuff, because I'm so in love with getting music on LaserDisc, and, you know, just LaserDisc in general, like pretty much in love with the whole thing. But yeah, insane between this and Jackie and everything else. I mean, just crazy. I'm going to be busy for quite a long time with watching all these pickups on LaserDisc. Thanks for joining me. This whole exhausting thing is finally over, and now I'm going to go and enjoy everything that I got. You know, watch fully. At this point, I've already watched about half the Jackie movies in just a few days, really. While I've been doing everything else in the background, just kind of watching Jackie, because it's so cool. I'm so happy. This is just incredibly exciting and one hell of a surprise. Enjoyed that video? Make sure you hit subscribe and click on the bell for notifications, and join me every Friday for the weekly Laser Talk.